Hello! Today I'm going to be taking a look at all 100 Derwent Lightfast pencils. I'm going to swatch them in this big book of colour charts, and then I'm going to do an artwork on the Lightfast paper. So let's get into it! Now, you may be wondering why I have two tins here. The answer is that this is actually the original tin that I got, which is the 72 set. Now, Derwent put out these pencils over the last few years, and the idea is that every single pencil in this range is very light fast. It either has a light fastness of LF1, which is the highest possible light fastness you can get, more than 100 years, or some of them have a slightly lower light fastness of 2, but that's also very good, and I think going up to about 100 years or so. So there's not a huge difference, but every single pencil that they have developed is designed to be museum quality, light fast, and archival, so that when you do a professional piece of work and it hangs on the wall, it's not going to fade in the sunlight or any other daylight. So originally they released a tin of 36, and in the tin of 36 were colours that were a lot more earthy and very easy to make light fast, were already naturally light fast. But after that, they then released another set of 36, which were colours that are more difficult to develop into light fastness, like magentas and some blues. You know, really bright colours which can often fade in the light. Then after, or around the time I'd bought the set of the 72, they then released another 28 pencils, and now there are 100 of them. They only come as a set of 100 in a wooden box, and it's very expensive. So I was kind of hoping they would release a set of 100 in a tin, but no, they have not. So this is the biggest set you can get, which is the 72, and I also managed to get this tin from the art shop. My local art store put out singles of pencils, and in order to do so, I think they actually take them from sets. So what they do is they give away the boxes because they have them lying around, and the tins are free to whoever wants to take them home. So I was looking through the tins because I use them for all sorts of things. They're great for storage, and I happened to see the Derwent Lightfast ones. It was at the time that I was down there buying the rest of the pencils. They're not cheap to buy singly either, so this actually took me a few rounds in order to get them all, and these are the extra 28 colours that make up the set of 100. And if I just open this tin up here, you can see that I've used them quite a bit actually, if I get those on camera, and there are 2 layers in here like that. Now for some reason I have an extra pencil and I cannot figure out if I've got doubles of something in here, because I did end up buying a couple of doubles when I started using pencils a bit more frequently. But for some reason I have an extra white, and there's no other white in here that I can see. There are another couple of light colours, but I'm really hoping while I'm doing this video that I can figure out why I seem to have 73 pencils and not 72. It's most odd. Okay, so a little bit about them. They are an oil-based pencil, they're not wax-based. They have a nice plain barrel, and then the colour, as Derwent always does, goes on the end. They also have printing on them, made in Britain, Derwent Lightfast, and the name of the pencil, this one being Midnight Blue 70%, and that is a Lightfast too. This is a Lightfast one, this is seaweed, so this is the most Lightfast you can get, according to their ratings. They all seem to be printed at different parts of the pattern on the pencil, and I don't know if that's deliberate, like it's supposed to make a wave or something, but I only just noticed that now. That's kind of interesting. As I said, these are oil-based. They cannot be mixed with water, but they will be thinned with other oils or solvents, such as odorless mineral spirits. They can be used with other pencils in the Derwent range, and you could probably use them with the Caran d'Ache luminance and things like that. According to Derwent's website, they say that all 100 colours are vegan friendly. They have a 4mm lead, so this part is 4mm. The whole barrel is about 8mm. The pencil barrels are crafted from Californian incense cedar wood, so I hope that's correct. When I opened the box, they did smell very nice. Now they are 8mm thick, but I have been having trouble finding pencil sharpeners that actually fit these. So I had to break my frugal February to get another sharpener. This is a Kent battery run sharpener, and I got it because it's got two different sized holes. Now as you can see, this says 6 to 8mm, but this being an 8mm pencil barely fits in there. I'm not getting that all the way in, and the only way to do it is to shove it in, and it creases the wood. So I've already dinged one pencil and I'm not going to do that again, but it goes in the 9 to 12mm one, and I can at least sharpen it in there. So this was $15 I think, and it was $15 well spent because I was having to manually sharpen them with the hand sharpener and my wrist was getting really sore and it just wasn't worth it. So I just figured I'll pick up this and then I could just sharpen these really quickly and not have to hurt my wrist. So for health reasons I ended up buying a sharpener. I consider this more of a necessity than a luxury at this case. It's okay when you're sharpening one or two pencils with a manual sharpener, but when you have to sharpen heaps of them and you're using them a lot and they get blunt, it gets very painful on the wrist. So mine are probably out of order because I did change them, but I'm going to obviously colour them in the order that they come in the book. So let's just take a quick look at the book. So here's my big book of colour charts. You may have seen a couple of other videos where I got this around Christmas time. I showed it in my haul, and then I've also coloured out the Polychromos pencils, all 120 of them, so do check that video out if you're interested to see it. And also don't forget to subscribe so you can see more coloured pencil videos which will come out during the year, and all sorts of other videos that I do in between. So let me open it. I put a bookmark in here this time so I will find the page quickly. I'm assuming that is all 100 colours on here. I have it rearranged all of these pencils so they're in the same order as the book, to make it easy to swatch them all. And I finally solved the mystery as to why I had an extra pencil. And I double checked each one with the book and I found 2 violets. The art shop was actually given some free samples by Derwent and it was a violet pencil. Mystery solved. I can move on with my life because that was really bugging me. Okay, I'm going to come straight out and say that these are some of my most favourite pencils ever. I really love the Derwent Lightfast. You could just see how vibrant those yellows are. They're highly pigmented, they go down with a rich buttery consistency, and they are oil-based, but they seem to be a bit softer than the Faber-Castell Polychromos, which are a little bit firmer. I like those too a lot, but there's just something about the Derwent Lightfast which just pushes them up a little bit more on the favourite stakes. I actually think the Lightfast pencils are really similar to the Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils, which are also very expensive. The Caran d'Ache are actually wax-based, but they seem to have a really similar consistency to the Derwent Lightfast pencils, and you can see already there is quite a range between light and dark, and that magenta is really gorgeous, as is the Bordeaux and the deep rose. This group of colours here are my favourites probably in the entire set. They're so pretty, and I think Derwent did a great job at creating colours which are normally not very light fast, especially like the heather and wild lavender, and making them into something that you can use and not worry about them fading. I think that is such a huge benefit of these pencils. You can pick up any of them and just not have to look at the number to know whether or not you can use it for an archival piece of artwork. You just can use any one in the whole set. Oh yes, I made a bit of a mistake here because as you can see there are 4 colours. One is mid blue, one is midnight blue, and they also have midnight blue 70% and mid blue 70%, and I got so confused with those. I had them mixed up in the wrong order and I had to change them and rub some of it out, but I got there eventually, and that's just the one issue with those 4 colours, that they are all very similarly named. I do like the names of most of the colours in this set though. I really like that they're called Ocean Blue and Wild Lavender, and they have such really interesting names, although of course as you can see in the bottom left corner there is a Flesh Pink, and that's probably one of those antiquated names they could change into something that doesn't say flesh, because as I mentioned in previous videos, most people's flesh is not that colour. I mean, my flesh is, but certainly there are so many other people with darker or even lighter skin tones than that. So going into the greens, There's quite a nice variation between the really bright ones and also very earthy, foliagey colours. Even one of them is called foliage. And then it goes into a lot more of the earth colours. So the ones I'm doing now, many of those were, I think, in the original 36 set, and then they've added a few extras over time. But I'm so happy that they added the really bright colours too, and I think it's a nice, well-rounded set. Now, I am going under the assumption that these are Lightfast. I have not done any tests for myself, so I'm going on pure faith here that Derwent have actually created pencils which are Lightfast. They said they've done rigorous testing, so hopefully everything is good there. But I am confident with Derwent. They are a very reputable company that they've got it right this time. Some of their other sets, they do not have very Lightfast pencils, so fingers crossed that all of these ones are good. I like the range of greys they have, but I really wish there was a Payne's grey, which would be darker than the ones they have. But I really like how they have 3 shades of black. Okay, here we go. Mostly sideways so it will fit. But this is all 100 colours. I think it's got a really lovely array of different colours and values. I especially love that this set has really, really light pastel colour ones like this Arctic blue, which is almost white, and then you've got the oyster, which is very light pink, and the champagne, and there's a few others. Mist is kind of like that, light aqua, that's the other one, even mid ultramarine. But then it's also got these amazingly dark ones like the nightshade. I love that colour. I think that's one of my favourite, along with the deep rose. Those two are so gorgeous. I really like this group of colours actually, it's so pretty. And then you've also got your dark cyans and indigos. The forest is really dark. The chestnut's quite dark, so there's all sorts of really nice values and colours in there. There's quite a lot of earth colours, there's a lot of greens and blues, a surprisingly large amount of purples and things, which I actually quite like because quite often you don't get that many. Reds and yellows, you know, there's not too many yellows, but that's okay with me. I think the ones that they have are really nice and they're really vibrant. So I am really happy with all 100 colours. I think they all go amazingly well together. Alright, I'm going to get into a drawing with these. I mean, I could have coloured this book and just called it done, but I decided I really wanted to use the Lightfast paper again. So I looked through some pictures for inspiration and I found one on Unsplash, which is another one of those royalty-free photo sites so that you can use the photos without worrying too much about, you know, copyrights and things like that. But I found a cool picture of, I think it's buildings in Copenhagen, and I just really, really wanted to draw that. So it took me forever to draw those freaking windows though. I'm just going, why did I pick something so complicated? But yes, I spent quite a lot of time ruling the lines and drawing all those tiny windows in, and I'm going to colour these buildings in. They're all different colours, you will see when I colour them. But just before I do, it's Valentine's Day while I'm filming this, and look at this cute little dish that Nick got me. Oh my goodness, it's so adorable. It's a heart-shaped dish and it's quite heavy, and it's from Kiki K, which is one of my favourite stores. I'm not too sure what I'm going to put in this yet, but it is definitely staying in my studio. Enough of me gushing over my Valentine's present. Let's get into this drawing. Oh, I'm so excited. I just can't wait to use this paper again. Did I think this was going to be easy? I did, because it's more like you've got blocks of colour than a lot of shading, but boy, this took me forever to do. And of course I added more shading than was in the photo because I was trying to use as many pencils as I could in this. I had a lot of fun doing it, but I'm not very experienced with buildings, and this did take quite a long time to build up the colours. They are really bright buildings. I am really hoping that this is actually in Copenhagen. I've never been there, but I certainly want to go there now, so I'm just going to call this piece somewhere in Copenhagen, possibly. Anyway, I went through and coloured all the buildings, mostly going off the reference photo, although I did change up some of the shades. I think this building was not quite as purple, but I really wanted to use the heather and wild lavender. I used some of the odourless mineral spirits to blend out the base colours, and of course later in the drawing I went over everything again to build up the colours and make everything really vibrant. So the paper worked just as well this time. I enjoyed it again. It's a really expensive paper, but it is very lovely and a pleasure to work on with the Lightfast pencils. The combination together is really great. There's also a boat in the picture, and the colour of it was exactly the same as that red building. And I did consider doing it a different colour, but in the end I was getting a bit tired and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to keep it the same colour, and I actually really like the red going through the whole picture. It's my favourite colour, and I enjoyed using the Scarlet pencil. That's probably one of my most used pencil in any given collection. I just love Scarlet so much, especially that really bright fire engine red. Oh boy, these windows took forever. I was just going, why did I choose this picture with so many windows? But I had fun doing it actually. It was fun putting in the different shades of grey and black to get those reflections and things, so it was a good experience. Later on in this drawing, you'll see that I used an oil-based paint pen to go over some of the white areas, and I was going to do it on the windows, but the one pen I have has just got a really thick nib and I don't have any other thin ones, so next time I go to the art shop I might see if I can get a really thin one, because oil-based paint pens go over the top of oil-based pencils rather than using an acrylic-based one which is just going to scratch straight off and is no way near archival enough. So that's pretty much what I did, and I will let you watch the rest of this, and I'll come in once I've finished the picture. Alright, that's me done for now. I think if I find a thinner paint pen, I will go around the windows as well, but for now I'm just going to leave well enough alone. So I had fun using these today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope it was helpful as to whether you think the Lightfast pencils are worth it and whether the paper's worth it as well. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button, and I will be coming back with the Inktense video very soon so we can look at the paper and the pencils and the blocks for that as well. Thank you all so much for watching today. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you all again really soon. Swatch you later. Bye.